In this tutorial, I'll be concentrating more on the wall assembly function, especially if we have complex profiles that we have to deal with quickly and efficiently. I'll begin by drawing two objects. So I'm going to go to the draw mode, select grid, and the first object I'm going to draw is a column. The second object I'm going to draw is going to be a wall. I'm going to go to the select mode and define it as a wall support. Select the column. I'm going to define it as a column. Now, considering the number of divisions of each, we already know that the column has one division and the default for the wall is 4. Just to make sure, I'm going to toggle on the divisions button, and as you notice that the divisions on the wall are 4, and the divisions for the column is by default 1. Now if I create a wall assembly, you know that they will both have the same number of divisions, and in this case I do not want to do that. In fact, I want to maintain the column as it is, and I want to increase the number of divisions in the wall to 6. I'll select them both and use the grab CG tool. So I'm going to select them first and then grab CG, and then the CG is automatically copied into the clipboard. Simply click OK, scroll up and down, press escape to deselect. I will right click on the column to open this properties dialog box. Take the user defined CG and then simply click and highlight the CG coordinates and simply place the new coordinates that we copy. Click OK. After doing so, select the wall and click on wall assembly. Now what happens is after clicking on wall assembly, I'm able to put the CG that was grabbed. As in the wall properties, I would not be able to put the CG. So after creating the wall assembly, I'm simply going to right click on the wall and I have CGI user defined, or the CG coordinates that I can enter. So then I'm just going to tick it, and then I'm going to paste the coordinates. And I want to, as I mentioned before, I wanted to change the number of divisions of the wall to 6. So I'm going to change it here to 6. And then I'm going to simply click OK. And now the inertia of the column and the wall assembly will be calculated based on the location of the CG of the assembly. Afterwards, if I wish to view the elements in the PL post, the results will be based on the fact that they are one object and not two separate objects. Another case where the wall assembly is a useful feature is when I have a complex column profile, say a pentagon-shaped column. In this case, if I draw it, we know that the only types of structural elements that I can choose are the slab and opening, since I'll be having a 5-sided shape. Thus, to go around this, I have to draw the objects as a 4-sided shape and combine them. So I'm going to go to the draw mode, and then turn off the snap to grid. I'm going to snap to endpoints. Now, the profile that I'm about to draw is going to be a rough profile, since I don't have a draft from the AutoCAD file with me at the moment. So I'm going to draw it. And remember, it has to be a 4-sided shape. Now, after I've drawn the two 4-sided shapes, I'll select each one. So I'm going to go to the select mode and select it. I'm going to define them as a column each. Click OK. And then I'm going to select them both. Then I'm going to grab the CG using the grab CG tool. And it tells me that the CG has been grabbed or copied automatically to the clipboard. I'm going to click OK. Now, escape to deselect them both. Now, right click and to open the properties dialog box of the column. And then tick user defined CG. And then enter the value that you just copied from the grab CG tool. Click OK. And do the same thing for the second column. Now, what will happen is that after I've put the user defined CG, they will act as one column. And this will conclude our tutorial.